Welcome back to another Plate Stack Chat live. As always, it's me, Jason, joined by Sam LaRoche. Tom, unfortunately, not with us once again, but don't worry because we've called our friends in the States. We have Amy Rudawsky from Clydesdale Media. Amy, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
We're very happy to have you. We're happy because we've had Kat, and we've had you. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, well, what about Scott? Yeah, okay, moving on. So we're not...
Exactly. Moving on.
Not only do we just like fully slag Scott off on the podcast, that he has to get us back on his podcast just to try and get his own back. Then we're just like, sorry, mate.
No, we just want to talk to your co-host, not you.
Yeah, we're like, we really like Clydesdale Media. If only it wasn't with Scott. So let's just get Kat on here, and then we'll get Amy on, and we'll have our own one.
Wow.
No. Scott, not only did he's traveling today, that's why he's not with us, but actually he then also he asked the whole team for us on our behalf. So he actually did half the legwork for me, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
Because I'm busy or lazy, one of the two. I mean,
it was I think it was even Scott's words about podcasting and the idea of a rising tide lifts all ships.
Yeah,
I think they were his. I mean, they're probably not his words originally, but
no, I don't think he coined the phrase. But we're like, all ships are rising, but we've stuck you in like a little lifeboat just off the side of the ship.
I'm still on the shore.
Yeah. And as the ships are rising and moving away. Oh dear. Yeah. Anyway, we're happy to have Amy. It's good to have some real media with us.
I do that when I'm mid-drink, man. Then he spat it all over my screen.
I'm probably the least qualified out of all the media team on ours too.
Yeah, you're the one here.
I've got thoughts and opinions. I mean, I can share those, but yeah.
Okay. Well, isn't that? See, I was
That's
about to say
all we need.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say, well, isn't that media? So I think we're going to flip the script now because we initially were like, let's talk about like last chance qualifiers, and then we can talk about right off the middle ground, and then maybe talk about media. But we've started media. Let's just talk about media for a second because that's interesting, isn't it? Like having thoughts and opinions, and then being like, so that's that's pretty much media now. Because somebody commented on the video that Hiller did of my video, where he like broke that one down, and somebody, because in that I'm not saying like the judge is right or the judge is wrong or Catherine's right or Catherine's wrong. I'm just telling you.
Just to stop you right there. So the first topic that we're talking about on Plate Stack Chat is at your YouTube page. I just want to clear that up right away.
No. Well, okay. Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, okay. I just want to be clear.
Can you just put a link somewhere down there?
Yeah. Go subscribe.
Where can we find that?
Yeah. And we're talking technically about Hiller's YouTube page, actually. But somebody commented in there about how I didn't give my opinion, and I should give my opinion more because most media now they're giving their opinion. And I was just like, I really think you've missed the point of this whole channel.
I think you've been reading too much tabloid news.
Yeah. But then it was interesting to listen to Lauren Khalil being interviewed because she was saying the same thing where she asks when she is doing like bottom line, she have the other people on and she's asking their opinions, but she doesn't give her opinion. She's just sort of, what do you think? And what do you think? And I'm like, yeah. So I'm doing that. I just don't have the people on either side of me to actually give opinions. That's the problem. But that's why I'm here around the plate stack, because that's where the opinions are formed. Because I tell you what, if you want someone with opinions, Sam LaRoche is your man. He has opinions.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what I mean is like, I don't do as much as the background kind of technical stuff like that. But yeah, I can show up and talk to people and do all that aspect of the media. So I like that aspect.
Yeah, which you guys have done a lot of because you've interviewed, nearly every CrossFitter on the planet at this point, I think, judging by my podcast feed.
Yeah, there's still a few that are on my list of people I really want to talk to that I haven't gotten a chance to yet. So,
well, I'm sure they all watch this. So if you tell us who they are, then they'll probably reach out to you.
Pat Vellner is a big one. I really want to talk to.
Oh,
you have Pat's your contact, isn't he? You got anything with Pat, have you?
Me?
Jason, I mean, no, Jason.
Oh yeah, hold on. I'll just call him out. What's the time difference?
Well, you got Brent.
Yeah, we got Brent. We just haven't gotten him yet, and I want to talk to Chandler Smith.
What do you want to ask Chandler Smith?
I want to hear more of his backstory. I mean, I want to hear more of his army training and that aspect. I want to hear more about Chandler as a person, and then I kind of want to ask him, what's going on with your training? What are you doing? Let's go somewhere else.
I like that. So let's ease him in with some nice sort of, tell me about
yourself.
You.
Yeah.
And then,
tell me about yourself. And so why didn't you do that good this year?
Yeah.
What's the deal?
Right.
Chandler, I've got one question for you. What happened?
How can we fix this problem?
Yeah.
To
be honest, I think
he was talking
fixable
recently
problem.
about doing the L1, wasn't he? And like the experience of doing the L1 and how much that happened. I have a lot of thoughts and questions with regards to Chandler as well. Actually, I think he's an interesting character, and he's had and he's freakishly strong. And but he's also this. So I want that. This is on record now that this is me saying this, not Amy. So if Clydesdale reach out, Chandler, and they want you on, she didn't say this. One of the things I've always thought with Chandler is like he's absolutely that. When you've got like the big lifts, and you'll see he'll put up these big numbers when they've got like a complex but he's also the guy that you're like, oh no, this is absolutely going to be the video somebody clips and shares around of like, all CrossFitters don't know how to do Olympic lifting, because he's like, he gets into these positions that you just think that can't be right, but he powers through. It's impressive what he does. And then you think, oh man, if he had the technique,
that's it. Like I think he's got the grit and the hard work ethic and raw strength, but not so much athleticism.
That time that was Amy saying that, by the
way.
So at this point, if that's what offended you,
I just mean the technique aspects. The power.
This is a place of safety. Don't worry. You can say
worry.
whatever
Nobody
you like here,
listens.
and nobody will know.
So tell us more about Scott. No. Okay. We might.
We
come
were
back
talking
to
about media.
We might come back to media later.
Okay.
Let's just get last chance qualifiers out of the way, because I know that until we speak about it, there's this pain in Sam's heart that won't go away, and he's going to be constantly scared that I'm going to bring it up. So when I went into the gym when they closed the first window and they were about to open the second window, our good friend Sam Craig, he was saying to me, there is no way Royce does not qualify. Like I was
saying the exact same thing to a bunch of people. I was at a competition this weekend. I was sitting there looking at my phone with a bunch of people going, Royce Dunn is 100% going to the CrossFit game because he's like a gazillion points ahead after they like, there you go. Thank you. Done. Oh no, maybe it wasn't. No, it wasn't this weekend. It was last week. I was in the gym. It was last week, wasn't it? It wasn't the weekend.
It was like in the middle. It would have been like Wednesday. I'm trying to think, for us, it was kind of like Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was in the gym, and that was it. It was the people that were at the comp. I was thinking, that's right. I was in the gym, and everyone was like, I don't even care. I was like, but Royce. And they were like, Royce who? I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like,
what's Royce done? Sorry, what's he done?
Yeah,
Royce?
exactly. I was like, no.
He didn't get himself to the games. That's what he didn't do.
Dead to me. I genuinely can't believe it.
I'm shocked too, to be honest. I really am.
Yeah. Is that the most shocking thing from the last chance qualifiers?
No.
I'm pretty shocked Yonakowski made it.
Sorry?
I'm pretty shocked that Yonakowski made it. Not because he's not good.
Yeah.
Genuinely not because he's not good. But I genuinely didn't think that he was going to be in the top two. He's definitely top 5 out of those, but I wasn't certain he was going to make the top 2. I was surprised when he made it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I am surprised Royce didn't get in, but I'm not surprised that Yona and Tim Paulson did make it in either, you know?
Yeah. It's the Brian Friend sort of, there's only, there's only like 5 spots at the top, and you're
Yeah.
telling me I didn't put this person in top 5. All right, who, where should I put the people that are in the top 5? Like, it's that kind of,
Yeah.
the field is so stacked that for most of them you'd be like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them. I saw some people didn't do the final 2 workouts, which is interesting because you kind of then always wonder what knock-on effect would that have had to the point system.
Sure.
So if they had done them with that, but like that's a whole kind of rabbit hole you could start falling in that. So like Royce, if you're listening, friend of the show, you've been on before, but don't start going back and looking and doing that maths, because that could spiral you into despair. Oh, if only he'd done the workout and got some points on the leaderboard, it would have pushed this one's. Yeah.
Well, it would have taken points off other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but maybe the people. Well, exactly. It would have maybe. But so I don't know. The scoring system was very strange as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about the scoring system. I just assumed it was 195, 90.
Yeah, I didn't
know. So Brian Friend put out a post about it, and I'm not 100% sure if in the end this is what happened or not, but the scoring system was based on there being like 32 athletes in the field, but there wasn't that many. Not everyone signed up, so it meant that like even if you got a last place score, you were actually getting more points. Like the least amount of points you could get was like, I don't know, like 20 points or something like that anyway. So it's like it was just an odd
I was sorry, Cat's in the chat.
Yes,
she just commented. I was literally just about to say this. I wonder what a Z scoring would have done to it. And you're right, Cat. It would have eliminated the issue. So Cat Scherer has said Z scoring would have, or Z scoring, depending on where you're from, would have eliminated the issue about people dropping out. I wholeheartedly agree. And that would have been the perfect place for CrossFit to start using Z scoring.
Yeah, especially as it's just a small number of people as well. It would have been quite easy to manage. It would have been. They just don't want to pay. They just don't want to pay Tyler the big bucks. That's the problem. They don't want him to sit there with a calculator and work it all out for them.
I mean, they don't even need that. You can go on Tyler's on the Morning Shortcut article that Tyler did. There's a link to the Google Doc, and you just save the doc and change the numbers. It's literally that easy. I've already done like 5 or 6 competitions, just myself, because I'm a weirdo like Tyler and Tom, and I actually enjoy that stuff.
Well,
this is probably. Oh, sorry, you go.
I was going to say, well, thinking about actually, Kat just said, thinking about the scoring though, Katrin was only like 4 points off of that.
But that doesn't mean anything. But that doesn't mean anything though, does it? Because of the way that the scoring works, she could have come last and still got X amount of points, right? So normally, if you come way down the leaderboard, you get way less points. But if this one, you could come last and still get, because they're basing the point system on 32. Yeah. If there's only 25 athletes, you're getting last place is getting 27 points, right? So yes, it's still a lot less, but it's not as a lot less as it would normally be.
Sure.
So I'm so intrigued by Kat's comment about so long as Katrin wouldn't have made it. I need to dig into that at some point. And I don't know if it's better to speak to Kat about this.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Or Amy.
I would say, I'll speak what I think I know about it, as I think she's not a huge fan of Katrin. And I think just we're ready to see something new happening at the game.
We've got different Dotties there this year.
They're
not the Dotties,
New Icelandic Queens. They are. They absolutely are.
Well, I was gonna rephrase. They're not the Dotties, unless you've been paying attention.
And Ferry has been there for a lot of times.
This is her 7th trip to the games.
Yeah.
It's going back. I'm jumping back into your YouTube channel now, Jace. It's the whole idea of the Batman thing. What's the difference between me and you? The difference is I don't wear hockey pads. That's basically what the daughters are like this year. Sarah and Katrin are like, what's the difference between me and you? And the other two are like, we don't wear hockey pads. We can do rope climbs.
Ooh. Oh.
That's tongue in cheek. That's tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
It's
is
not.
it? Well,
But
I
after like 8 years, you'd think you'd be better at rope.
well, she was better. She was better. Like she did
Yeah.
better than when you look back at like 2014 when she just crashed and burned and
Totally.
didn't. That was an absolute disaster for her. She was in first place going in to that workout, and then she did not qualify because of that workout.
Right.
So like that was pretty terrible. This time it would have helped her, but I don't know. I don't know what she would have need to have done for it to have been better, because going into the final event, as I said, like if she got 100 points and no one else got any points, she could have come fourth. But of course, everybody got some points, so she was really, had no chance. I always know I like Kat for some reason, and finally, the more we speak, the more things come out. I'm like, I got you. I understand what's going on here.
It is regime change, isn't it? Like if, and this is kind of one of the things that I really am looking forward to in the games this year, is that yes, there are big names, but there aren't all of the usual big. You got no Sam Brigg, you got no David's daughter, no Sigmund's daughter. Who else have you not got? Chandler, Chandler Smith. These are big names in the. They've been big names in the sport.
I was about to say, no.
Don't even go there. Why would you say that?
I really like
Royce Dunner's only been in the individuals.
Does Royce know of your man crush for him?
Well, not maybe not, but that's okay.
Sam played it pretty cool when we had Royce.
I did play it cool when he was here.
It's kind of like, oh, sorry, what's your name again? Royce, Roy Dune. Hi, Roy. Yeah.
Oh, hi. Never heard of you before. But I'm very aware that people that listen to this on Spotify can't see my face. I'm pulling eyebrow movements and all sorts, and they can't see it. My beautiful face.
But I'd also been very vocal saying in the last chance qualifiers that there was no way Sarah or Catherine was going to qualify. So I got pretty nervous when she's sitting in third. I was like, "Oh no, I've been very opinionated on this. This isn't good."
So what do you think about Chloe? After day one, she was up there.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about her.
Yeah.
And I probably should, but it says a lot about the media, right? We're focused on. We are, because of the way that the media is done, and like you only have to look at the stream from Sid. Like it was all about those names, and some of the names didn't even make it. Right? Kat ended up in the LCQ, and that she was like the fate. People like Zach George were on the feed. Sam Briggs on the feed. They're being put. These names are. The staple names are being pushed, and then your Thuri Helga daughters and your Sola Sigurda daughters they're not nowhere to be seen because they're picking up event win, but they're not,
But I think I've been thinking about this a lot, and I've actually been speaking with some athletes about this a little bit as well. That I think this causes a much bigger issue than we even realize, because it's very hard for these athletes to get the sponsors and the deals that they need, because they're not getting airtime. Like if you can say, well, I was at the games, and they're like, you were at the games, show us, like, where were you? I was like, well, I was there. They never really put me on the live feed, but I was there. So, okay, we'll kick you out of our stuff and no one will see it. And no one will speak to you, and it won't be seen. So why do we bother? And then you've got, athletes that are not making it to the games but are constantly featured in, in articles, on the stream, on things like that. And it's sort of, they're pulling in all this sponsorship and that, and then going to the games becomes a real challenge for the people that are trying to get there, because they're not set up in a position to be financially, viable to make it, kind of thing. And that's like the case for the individuals to a degree, and for the teams, like hugely. Like they, this year, all anybody spoke about was Mayhem and Reykjavik. from the get-go. And then it was like, oh, Invictus have done really, really well. Maybe we should have. Sorry, I've seen a. So
There's in the game. Governance.
yeah. So
I
I've exchanged some incredibly long messages with Claire talking about this subject recently.
Just to give you an idea, Claire is arguably one of our most loyal. It says Concamp, but Concamp is actually Claire's son, who did very well at a competition that I was at this weekend, actually. But Claire is one of the coaches at the gym that I go to, and I don't even know, Claire. Like, are you like a black belt in no can do or something? Karate? No, Claire also coaches. Is a karate coach.
Well, all of the examples she was using for me in the conversation I had with her about a better way to kind of make a unified fund for like athletes from the UK to get to the games, it was all based on what they were doing for karate. So that was sort of her. She was looking at that example and saying, well, this is how they did it, and it included the adaptive athletes and this and that. And so from the UK, it's like, well, that's funny as well. There you go. It's another example. Like, people are talking about Lucy Campbell. Oh, Lucy Campbell's going from the UK. Oh, she's a new athlete from the UK going there. So, oh, we're going to be looking at Lucy. And you're like, she's not the only athlete going from the UK.
I've got a little exclusive that I've had clarification that I can tell you about it, but not what it is. Yeah, let's jump to Mike. Mike's in the chat.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I've clicked him up. So Mike is just, we'll bring that up because Amy's here. So Mike's just being kind and he's, saying nice things about Clydesdale. But Mike Albin says that's why the Clydesdale is doing. That's why what Clydesdale is doing is important to talk to all the athletes, because only about 10 men and 10 women get any airtime from open to games. I think 10 is generous, Mike, but yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy feat, but I think it's been great to be able to, hear the stories of these athletes, and a lot of the athletes would also tell us that they're enjoying watching and learning about some of their competitors when we were doing it before the semis. So that was cool.
Yeah. So I got distracted by somebody's messaging. Yeah. Okay. And of course, Kat backs up with just yes, Mike. So yeah. All right. I should say Mike is also like an unsung hero. He does a lot of stuff. He's feeding people like me a lot of stats and information and things, and then we all get to share it when we're like front facing on the camera, and everyone thinks, oh wow, you guys are so well informed, and we're not. It's just because people like Mike tell us interesting
feed you the info.
And he doesn't have his own podcast. And he's been invited onto the podcast, by the way, Sam, but for some reason he claims that like today is not a good day to kind of buy out time in America. I don't know why. I don't know why he feels like today's not a good day, but anyway.
That's what my husband said today. He's like, what's more American than doing a podcast with the UK today on the 4th of July?
And if you want some of the witticisms
treacherous
of Mike, when he gets
colonials
on the podcast, he says, I was being nice, only Monster Water athletes get airtime. So that's the gold you're missing. Go and follow Mike. His Instagram is 88. Oh, was it?
I've done his homework.
Yeah, 80, then 8, the number, and then MPH. There we go. So, right, let's. Oh, see, look. Shows a little love to me as well. That's nice. Okay, sorry, Sam. I forget. I always play with the comments and then I get in trouble.
Hey, you do it. No, I'm looking something up because I think I'm trying to find a fact, but it's fixed.
Oh, Kat's got breaking news.
Ooh,
breaking news. Harry Paley joins HWPO coaching staff. Who have they got now then?
Hard work pays off?
Yeah. So, because...
They asked me, I turned them down, sorry.
Because who's working with Jason?
Is he?
I don't know.
Because it's not because he works with Matt a bit, but he said somebody else is sort of his point of contact. I can't think who that is.
I've been waiting to see what's happening with Harry, though. So that's because that was a big loss for them.
Oh, interesting.
Over at Conquering.
So, Scott's going to be angry that we got to break that because of his team.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Sam Quan. Okay. Not sure if he's doing affiliate stuff or elite athlete stuff. Sam Quan is doing training with Harry. Is still training with Harry. Okay. Oh. And Yash is here as well.
Oh,
catch him in
yes,
the first
yeah.
25 minutes later.
Don't
worry about
Yash and I were in the comments of Savant's video earlier discussing which Marvel superhero Daniel Brandon.
Oh, right.
I was thinking Elektra or Valkyrie. I think Elektra's probably as good of an idea as I'm gonna get. It's what zero F's given, like.
Yeah. Let me ruminate on this, and
I don't know. I don't know if you're into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Amy. I don't assume anyone is. Jason's a bit of a nerd for it, but
hey.
A nerd in the most endearing way. No.
When my kids were younger, but I'm kind of out of that.
Yeah, my kids unfortunately are still too young to really get them into that. So,
right.
I'm like holding down the fort until I can say, "Oh, it's not me; it's the kids that like
it."
It.
I need to get this toy because they need that.
Yeah. Look, I have to go in their room as well. I need to look at things when I'm in there, so there's got to be stuff in there that I like.
Yep.
Yeah, if I'm going to be cleaning up these toys, I want them to be toys that I can play with at the same time.
Oh,
Daniel Brandon was training with Hardwick recently as well. Seemed indifferent about Underdog. And then, was it Matt DeLucas was saying when they were talking about Justin Cutler and sort of, Matt was saying how he doesn't get involved too much with what Justin's doing with other athletes, and if there's tensions there, he kind of he doesn't want to be involved. So
yeah, wonder what
it's
this
interesting.
is about.
It's interesting, isn't it? This whole I was thinking about this today. We were talking about training camps and all these different training camps, and it's like, because I have to speak about this on something soon. So we were talking about. I was just trying to like reason for it in my own head with a few people, and it's kind of weird because you talk about like what training camps are doing well, and you've either got athletes that were already doing incredibly well and then kind of got recruited in to a training camp. So to me, that doesn't necessarily tell me the training camp is particularly good. It just tells me that they are good at picking
recruiting
really good athletes, right? And you're kind of yet to see any like real kind of rookie person come in, be trained up, and then be like, oh wow, they're a completely different athlete now. Amazing. Oh, who are you going to say?
Alex Kazan.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I agree, and I agree depending on what she does at the games.
Okay, we'll revisit this.
Yeah, I think is point. In fact, she's. I think rookies. You've got Alex, and then you've got Tudor Magda as like two really good rookies this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I then think that experience is going to pay off across the board for everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
This is an interesting comment from Kat. I assume it's true, otherwise she wouldn't say it. But Danielle and Dallin were invited by Matt to test with Mal and Jason. They aren't going to HWP.
Yeah,
I don't. It'd be pointless having It would be pointless having everybody train with the same. Otherwise, it would be that. Why would it not just be the HWPO game, right? Which will be a thing at some point.
Have you heard of Mayhem?
Yeah, but they're not all. But they don't have everybody.
Half the athletes at the games this year are in some way or form related, like linked to Mayhem. But that's again where I kind of have questions. It's like, can you, there's a big difference between like Guy, who became a Mayhem athlete and moved, to Cookville and is now there, and Cara, who became a Mayhem athlete and is still in Australia doing her thing, but is now part of Mayhem. Like I view these as two very different.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, totally.
But they're all lumped together in the article, so they're always kind of added
That's
to
why
the
you
list.
do it, right? That's the reason. It would be no different than being sponsored by Nike.
Oh yeah.
Instead of Reebok. Like if something's going to give you more promotional opportunity. I mean, let's go back to Jason's YouTube channel. To be honest, the reason that I keep going back to your YouTube channel is because you actually cover useful, informative things that people actually maybe want to be talking about, right? So the idea of being good.
It's funny
good
because you say that, but you don't know what the next video is.
Okay, well, I don't care what it is.
I worry that I'm
give
going to
us
get my
a-
CrossFit license revoked when I start talking about this.
We don't have a CrossFit license.
Yeah.
No,
what
no,
kind of
just
license do you have?
Well, just in the sense of
not
like
our
you
CrossFit license.
you have no right to talk about CrossFit anymore. Your opinion means nothing to me. That kind of.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about another sport very similar to CrossFit, linked quite closely to CrossFit.
Okay, I'd be really.
So, like, does it happen in Florida?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Gotcha.
And dare I say, some lessons CrossFit could learn.
Ooh. Like on judging?
No,
Okay. Okay.
no. I have recorded it just
About the
before
whole
jumping
idea.
on here, so it might get edited late tonight and go up. Who knows? But we'll see. Kat mentioned something that I also agree with, in that she doesn't think Matt would have another female athlete like actually being there kind of on location while Mal is there training. And I would agree with that. I think there's that thing of like, yeah, get another, you know, if someone's got like a very good female athlete, they'll be like, yeah, fine, get another male, that's fine, or coach a team, but don't coach my competition. Like that's unless you're Tia, in which case it seems like she's just bored and she's just trying to coach up the competition so that she'll have somebody chasing her.
Could be.
Well, you make more money that way. It goes back to like what makes money, right? Be good or be popular, or be Tia.
Yeah, in which case you're both.
Yeah. But there's a difference between being popular, between just being popular because you're popular, or being popular because you're good.
Yes.
So Tia was not popular before she was good.
Correct.
Tia was, dare I say, overlooked.
Yes, undoubtedly.
Yes.
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
People were surprised.
Versus somebody like Danny Spiegel, who has a huge following and people love her. And also she does CrossFit.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe these are the examples I used in my video. Who knows?
Oh, okay. Oh.
I assumed Amy hadn't watched it.
Oh, yeah, I hadn't. Sorry.
Because she only watches real media.
Yeah, I know.
Not just the trash that Jason puts out.
Hey, but I mean, if she's picked the same example, that's good, right? That means
that's correct. Yeah.
That means we're on the right lines.
Yeah,
I doubt you would have picked my example for the men because it was Zach George, because it was.
No, I don't. But I think there I have criticism of that video. I don't think you picked enough on the way that people look.
I think I purposefully didn't because I could have just gone on a whole thing about that.
Yeah. Maybe that should be another video. That would be
maybe. But I think
because Zach George is really good to look at.
Yeah, but the point of the video wasn't why is someone popular. It was the equation of
good
is being popular more important than being good, because actually and the conclusion is yes, actually financially speaking being popular is far more important than being good, unless you can be Tia or Justin and be both, in which case that is the sweet spot. But the money you make winning prizes in CrossFit, especially if you're not coming first but you're coming like third and second, and second at this smaller competition and then maybe third at the games or here or there, and then all the travel costs and getting yourself there and all of that. If you're like just going on prize purses, it's not good.
How much was the last person at the games, like the last paid person at the game, getting paid?
Isn't everyone getting paid this year?
No, but in previous or even this year, is it like $1,000?
That's what I was thinking was 1,000.
Because I can tell you that this weekend, the individual elite male won 2,000.
Yeah,
and with the best will in the world, the guy won every single workout. He's by far the most elite athlete out there, but the person that comes last place at the games would have walked all over that competition.
Yeah.
So
but that's
in
like
order
why
to,
they're talking about these athletes that were in the last chance qualifier, but they all had gone to the French Throwdown.
Yeah,
it was like, well, why would you go to the French Throwdown if you're then going to have to compete in a couple of days to try and qualify for the games? It's like, well, because I can probably win money at the French Throwdown, and I'm probably not going to win any money if especially if I don't qualify through the last chance qualifiers. So
hey, speaking of, didn't that happen on the female side?
Yeah, she she won the French Throwdown,
Yeah.
and came second in the last chance qualifiers. But but Luca, he didn't.
It's a risk for sure.
Make it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's more. But he did make money at the French Throwdown, so it's sort of paid off for him in that sense.
Sure.
Because even if he hadn't done that, would
still
he
may
have
have not
qualified?
Well, Evander. So it was Evander Harewood who was at the Battle for Middle Grounds, Ragnarok, and he came 5th at the French throw.
Yeah, I could not believe. Well, let's move away from last chance then. As anyone who's watching this will see, Sam's got his graft hat on. He's been all over.
That's not. I was not trying to push it in particularly in that direction. But I'm interested in the idea that a competition that is not vastly expensive to enter, any of these athletes in the last chance qualifiers would have walked into that and at least been a contender first place. Like at the very least, they'd have come top. They'd have podium. That's put up. Are we salty about Independence Day? What? Why would we be salty, you treacherous colonial?
You know, I
think a joke, by the way, anyone who's listening and can't see my face.
The best example I've seen of this, like just concept in general, was I was watching a documentary, and they were talking when they brought Hamilton to England, and this American journalist was like in London, and he was interviewing the cast members, and the whole way he was pitching it was like, because it's, is it strange for you because you're like the losers in this, and the actors are like, we'd never even thought about that. Like it's so, I think it's so disconnected that it's like, oh right, I guess you're yeah I guess you're right on that. I mean, I think England have given enough countries back, haven't they?
I love that.
Oh.
Yeah. No, you guys have fun. I'm only upset because everyone's too busy to come on the podcast apart from Amy.
Yeah. No fireworks at your house tonight.
Yeah, and instead of putting the last chance qualifiers like at the weekend, they've clearly moved them earlier just so they could have
some
have it free. So that's my only feelings one way or another about this.
Yeah, I have no problem.
You were saying about these events. I was surprised to see so many people that had been at the French Throwdown at Battle for Middle Ground. There's quite a number of them.
Yeah, Shah as well, I think.
Yeah.
Shah Davis.
Shah Davis, I said to her, I was like, sometimes I see your Instagram posts and I think to myself, man, I wish I could be as strong as you. But then if I was, I'd probably be doing these crazy things as well, like going to competitions like back on back. No. This is madness. Sam, you were hinting at breaking news earlier, and then you deviated off from it.
Yeah, you know, I was we call it the hook and tee.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm.
But you want me to actually catch them now?
Well, I'm just, I'm conscious of the time.
Yeah, no worries. Breaking news. It is in fact Lucy Campbell's birthday tomorrow.
Is that the breaking news?
That is not the breaking. but it does have something to do with that. There is an announcement tomorrow. So there will be. I can't break the whole thing because I have been told that I can't break the whole thing, but I have been told what I can.
So you're just giving us a little tease.
I'm giving you. This is the ultimate tease. Okay. So there is a brand. Here you go, Amy. There's a question for you. The brand that has been supporting Sam Briggs in her this last year. Do you know which brand that is?
Does it start with an R?
Clothing brand.
Okay. No.
I'll give you a clue. It starts with a W.
Wit.
No. Do you want me to give you another clue?
If you look at Sam, you might be able to guess.
It's written on my chest.
Oh.
It's called Waddable.
Waddable.
They've been doing some stuff. So I have been told. Let me read exactly. I've been told that I can say that I've heard something is dropping tomorrow between Waddable and Lucy Campbell. And I was sent a picture which I can't show, but I think it was an accident. Actually, I was exchanging messages with somebody, and I sent a picture of me wearing my lovely Waddable t-shirt, and they sent me a picture back of them wearing another Waddable t-shirt, and I was like, is that are you something with Lucy? And they were like, oh, you absolutely can't say anything. This is me absolutely not saying anything.
Right. You're doing a great job.
Yeah. No, but I did then check. I said, look, can I, I'm not a rubbish journalist. I have to, you have to check these things, don't you? Amy will tell you. Or maybe Amy won't tell you.
You know where Sam Briggs lives now, though, don't you?
I do. Well, not exactly, because that'd be weird.
In Ohio?
Yeah, I know that she lives in Ohio, but I don't know like her address.
Oh, right. Okay.
That would be weird.
Well, that's where Scott and I are.
Imagine
Do you
Ohio's
know her
a big
exact
place,
address?
though.
I don't know her exact address, but I know that I know where she trains and close by, and yeah.
And I've looked on her Instagram. I see some of the pictures she's taken. I'm kind of like, I recognize that tree. I reckon I could probably.
I'll just drive by real quick.
If your house was burning down, would she be one of the people that came to save you? No. Well, then you don't live that way.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. Until you move.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said she only takes people that qualified for the games this year to try and save her from a burning building.
You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going to Australia.
Yeah.
But surely there are less people qualifying for the games from Australia than there are from America.
There's only one.
Your house is definitely burning down.
There's only one I care about. So.
Is it Royston?
No. That's why I was asking about if he knows about your man crush, because my man crush. Well, he's currently in Iceland.
Oh, Khan.
Oh, yeah.
So are women allowed to have man crushes? Like, isn't that just a crush?
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah. Okay. But what if I have a crush on a girl? Then it could be a girl crush. So
yeah, that's a girl crush. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, I have a crush.
That's breaking news.
That's not breaking news. If you've ever listened to our podcast, it's on every podcast. My husband's over there in the other room, but he's fine.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it was breaking news to him.
Do we need to do an interview with him about?
No, he knows all about it. It's
So, have you had the chance to interview Team Reykjavik?
Not Team Reykjavik, but Khan's been on. Yeah.
But... Khan was walking around at Strength and Depth.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah. If I'd known, I'd have run over.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You see, you never know where it's going to go when you're around the plate stack.
That's right.
I told you we're going to talk last chance qualifiers. We'll talk about the event Sam was at, and we might talk about media. And we've talked about everything but, basically. That's, Good. Okay. So we've had also this breaking news that we're not allowed to tell
breaking
you.
news. It's not really breaking news, but check out the Waddable Instagram and Lucy's Instagram tomorrow. It's obviously Lucy's birthday tomorrow, which I assume is the 4th today. Yeah, so the 5th of July is her birthday, and also the special news.
I would love to know the details you're not allowed to reveal, because I feel like you've told us
right. What
pretty
else?
much everything.
Well,
everything but
I
the
was very
color.
specific. I'm very. Well, the T-shirt that I saw was blue.
Okay, and we have the color as well. So
there you go.
Now we have more
what
details.
more could there possibly be? The restraining order is in
She's
full
referring
effect.
to me.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah.
And you're going to be at the games this year?
I think so. Yeah, I plan to.
So
unless the restraining order really holds up.
Has anyone
or your
ever
husband's
been
tied you in the basement or something?
ejected from the games because of a restraining order?
Yeah, I'll have to stay home and just call in, I guess.
Yeah,
I imagine surely some of Danny Spiegel's like nearly 1 million followers on Instagram she must have restraining order against some.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
you'd have to imagine.
Yeah.
And then I mean because the popular good thing as well, it's once like now you've got like Daniel Brandon that's like so popular, like with a different crowd almost, and it's like incredibly popular. And I think it must be tough for them, because you get to that point where it's like, can you ever live up to the hype? Like, and I mean, Sarah is the prime example of that. Like the hype around Sarah, and at least like I think once I said Catherine was overrated on the podcast, and like Tom was quick to remind me that she's won the games, multiple times.
But was that a good year to win the games though? Like,
well, I still don't feel like.
No, that is unfair. If you win the CrossFit Games, you are the fittest in the world.
But I don't think it's wrong to now say, if you're still talking about someone, it's not as if she won the games last year and is coming this year off the back of that victory, and we should be really looking like, oh, you're going to win the games. If you won the games some years ago, and then since then, how has your performance been? That's where you've got to base it on. But I mean, at least you can say that she has won the games. But Sarah has never won the games, and yet we said Tia was overlooked. One of the reasons Tia was overlooked is because everybody was talking about Sarah, and then she didn't even she didn't end up on the podium. Tia wins, but like, oh yeah, we should have probably been paying more attention to her because she's doing really, really well. And like, yeah, maybe that'd be a good idea. Now people don't ignore her, but she's had to earn that, like every step of the way. And then I don't think it's that she's not likable. And I think when she was so good that they couldn't ignore her, and they started focusing on her and interviewing her and talking to her and finding out what kind of person she was, people become kind of endeared to her, and they want to hear more about her. And then they meet Shane and they want to know more about Shane. And I think that goes back to Mike's comment about what you guys are doing at Clydesdale, is you're allowing people to become fans of these people, not necessarily because, oh, I like the way they look, or I like, or they're top 3 at the games, but I've heard them talk about their background and it's very similar to my background, or they feel a certain way about something and I feel similar about that, so I quite like this person. So I think that's really Kat Shearer, 2022. Sarah's charisma is stronger than her fitness.
Well, I think going back to what you were saying, though, is that year, I think there was this storyline that was created by the media of these 2 blonde Icelandic, amazing women. And it's like, here's Tia, who is this great athlete, but she's kind of just plain and just kind of puts her heads down and does her work. And that's what wasn't going to get paid attention to that year,
Yeah.
The thing is, though, that isn't, I think the problem is, I hear this right. I've just sort of landed on
Getting a
this,
pen.
that CrossFit is not an elite sport, it's an elitist sport. So what it is doing is making elitists, not elites.
Okay.
I know that
New
hear that
t-shirt,
right. Let
CrossFit,
that ferment a
forging
little for you.
elitist athletes. Forging elitist fitness. There we go.
But in fact, maybe it's not even CrossFit. Maybe it's not CrossFit. Maybe it's. Oh no, it is CrossFit. Because if
Is
it's
it
the morning chalk
CrossFit
up, then
or
it is
is it
CrossFit.
the CrossFit Games?
Well, of course. Sorry. Yes. My bad. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because CrossFit methodology company are doing amazing things within the community, within affiliates. You know, I was chatting to, I didn't even know I was chatting to. I thought I was chatting to Rachel Stedman. It wasn't on the Instagram. It was someone completely different. But about things that are happening at affiliates at the moment. Great conversations, you know, and CrossFit, the Instagram page CrossFit UK are highlighting loads of good things. You know, they're taking all sorts of, you know, they're showing how functional the movement, each movement is. There's literally a picture, the sort of red shirt, the typical CrossFit red shirt picture of someone doing a squat, and right next to them is a picture of an old guy getting out of a chair, and the pictures are identical. The same, you know, an air squat is the same as sitting down and standing up out of a chair, right? And that, like, you know, they're highlighting those things. That was a repost from the CrossFit training page. But as you say, CrossFit and the CrossFit Games are two very different things.
Yeah.
But again, sorry, the CrossFit Game then change my quote. All right, the CrossFit Games is
Only because later I might be talking about the separation of methodology and sport.
Is that on
and
your
maybe
YouTube
that's a
channel
good
by any
thing.
chance?
Who
Yeah,
knows?
great.
Who knows? Spoilers
knows?
for
No.
future stuff.
Like and subscribe. But it is about being elitist. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the equivalent of in this country, like almost like parliament. So like MP, members of parliament, MPs in this country, I guess senators or the equivalent of, you know, elected officials.
Okay.
You have to be generally speaking, you have to be a certain type of person to become an elected official. And it's like, well, you don't really fit here. So you know, like Daniel Brandon doesn't fit that CrossFit Games mold necessarily. The way that I sort of see that is, this is actually quite an American record, but in skateboarding in like the 80s, early 90s, you had like Jeff Rowley and you had Tony Hawk. Now, Tony Hawk was like everybody's favorite, but Jeff Rowley was like the best skateboarder there is. And he would just like set the work. He was just like, yeah, I'll just watch the world burn. We'll go out and make skate videos in, you know, in a back alley somewhere and just make VHS, you know, sell it to people VHS at a car boot sale or something. And then like there's Tony Hawk on MTV and you know, at the X Games and all this stuff. And it feels a bit like that. Like you've got Daniel Brandon who would much rather see the whole world burn, you know, and everyone have a slice of the pie than, you know, they are the sort of people who are trying to push a certain agenda and a certain type of thing. And I guess maybe even Justin sort of breaks the mold a little as the kind of guy who just seems like a fun-loving. I mean, his agents must have like such a headache all the time. He just goes out doing stupid stuff. It's just like if he breaks himself like that, it's literally the end of your career. Bye, dude. You're 22 or whatever, 23. You know.
Interesting.
But he's already won the games, hasn't he? So, you know, no matter what, he's got that, and very few people have that under their belt. I mean, that'll be an interesting discussion when we get probably closer to the day, because I don't want to yet pull the trigger on is Justin going to win the games, because as you said, let's see if he doesn't kill himself before the games. But if he's still,
I'm not sure they're letting him go to motocross or anything like that before the games from now. What, we're 30 days out?
Yeah, 30 days out.
Yeah.
Exciting, right? But I mean, going full circle back to like the media talk, it was interesting. You're looking at the kind of articles that have come out or the things that people are speaking about. And like with last chance qualifiers, it was which of the daughters is going to qualify? Will it be Sarah? Will it be Catherine? And you're like,
Neither.
probably neither. And then it's all, again, like we're already speculating heavily, aren't we, about the names that people know. But there's always, I always love the kind of the unknown and the unknowable element of CrossFit is that we can have a pretty good idea, but all you need is them to bring out some crazy implement or workout that just undoes the person you thought was going to win. And if it does it enough, that could be, for some people, unfortunately, that odd implement is swimming, and that undoes their games shot very early on a Friday. But if it's some random object that Rogue have knocked up in a secret lab, then they could be in trouble. But hey, let's see. It will be fun. It'll be fun to watch, won't it?
Well,
yes.
I just wanted to quickly touch on the event at the weekend, because I know I touched on it slightly about the winners and stuff, but from a community perspective,
because you are talking about the National Fitness Games, right? That took place in that.
Wow, and actually that didn't even take place this weekend. That was 2 weekends ago. 100% it wasn't. It was actually turf game, Jason. So
what was being posted up this weekend?
Turf game.
What, this weekend?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, we can argue about it if you want.
No, I don't mind.
That was a couple of weekends ago. Zach was there.
All right.
George. But yeah, so Battle for Middle Ground. So Graph are the events company. They're not sponsored. I just happen to know the guy really well. They don't sponsor the podcast or anything like that. Rick, who owns Graph, has been on this podcast before, Richard Corn. And he's really passionate about grassroots CrossFit, licensed CrossFit competition. Because most of, not all of, but most of the Graph competitions are CrossFit licensed. All the Battle for there's a sort of a few competitions that come under the Graph umbrella. Battle BFMG, which is Battle for Middle Ground. This one was Ragnarok. They run a trios competition called Trinity War. They run a Lone Wolves competition, which is like solos, and then Winter Soldiers, which is pairs and fours, which are really cool. But it's really all about the community for that. And then they've got another one called Rep It Out, which is a bit more of a scaled competition for sort of, more. I know Kat doesn't like the word scaled, but they call it the middle. They call it like middle ground. Claire said, so Connor, who is Claire's son, was in they had a teens division at this one, and it was, I think it was 14 to 18 year olds or 15 to 18 year old. And I mean, there was an 18-year-old there, and he looked 30, which was cool. But he sort of won most of the workouts because he just looked like a fully grown man. He had a beard the same as mine. I was like, who is this guy? 16 to 18 it was. And Connor came third, which was brilliant. So he's only 17. But the two that came first and second were actually 18, and a lot older. And so I think they did really well. But the thing I did want to touch on is the idea of community. So there was this time, well, they've been struggling for judges quite a bit.
And Connor is 16.
Sorry, Connor is 16. I thought he was 17. Didn't he just
16?
Didn't he just leave school?
This is what I love. So last week we said. So I made a comment, and Sam said nobody is watching this on their phone. Everyone's watching it on a computer. And then we had everyone in the comments jump on saying, no, actually, I'm watching it on a phone. And then Sam systematically explained why each one of those people was watching it on a phone and not a computer, and how he is correct, and those people which happen to be in unusual circumstances.
Oh, wait,
at that
so you
moment.
were gaslighting your listeners?
This time, he's arguing with Connor's mother as to how old her son is.
No, yeah, fake news, mate, fake news. Was she even there? Fake news.
Was she even there when he was born?
But the whole. So I was saying how good he did. For goodness sake, Claire. Honestly, yeah, he'll be on another competition sometime. I'm sure he's being trained. In fact, I'm not even going to say anything more because I'll probably just get it wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's doing really well. He did really well. But
say he trains with JSD compete.
No, because I absolutely know he doesn't. Kat's on her
Kat
phone.
is on her phone again.
Claire's on her phone. Yeah, everyone will be on their phone. Yeah, well done, everyone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, you have a phone.
Anyway, come on. We got to wrap this up. Community.
So the community. So that the traditionally they've had no problem with judges or getting volunteers or anything. But the March event that was put on is Claire's triggered. Oh god.
He trains with the athlete program. Everybody, just in case there's any doubt. Team Tap.
Team Tap, the athlete program.
Owen,
I think Owen's his coach, isn't he?
CrossFit Aylesbury, they're all that. That's the athlete program as well. They're all going there. So just in case.
Sam.
Just take a screenshot. We're back in the room. I've just triggered people. I'm gaslighting and I'm giving fake news. So what else? Yeah. What was I even saying?
Judging community.
So the judging community, there were enough judges this time, but what is happening at the moment is that judges are just like volunteers are just not turning up for events and stuff, which I don't know what the deal with that is, but it's competitions are finding it hard. But where I'm getting to and where I want to land is that the community, and there was something really, really sad that happened this weekend. It's genuinely sad. I had to go off for a little cry when I found out. So the story goes that someone came up. I can't
believe we're ending on this though.
No. Do you know what it is? You know what it is?
I do know what it is.
Yeah. So, and it was so like. Anyway, sorry, this is actually like a bit. Oh, you putting up a comment now? Like, no wonder I never finish a story. Claire Viney has the pleasure of judging Oakley Teen Division in the last workout this weekend. Looking forward to seeing what he can do in a couple of years. But Oakley was the winner. Absolute savage laddie. Right, but yeah, the community. Back to the story. So someone came up and said can you put an announcement? I was on the microphone doing the announcing. Can you put a call out for a vet, please? Because there's a dog having a seizure outside. So I literally turned around and went, are there any vets in here? And there happened to be a vet literally standing right next to us and the other side. So there were two vets literally within seconds. And these vets like ran outside. And I made like a flippant joke about if that was a human outside and we asked for a doctor, like it'd take them about 15 minutes. But because it's a dog, like everybody's outside already. But about 10 minutes later, I heard basically they came back in and said like we're really sorry, like the dog's just passed away. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I didn't know. I knew that the dog was the dog's mum was a competitor in the competition, but I didn't know who. Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know who the competitor was, because at the time I had no idea. Today on Instagram, I find out that it's Georgia Radley, who is a well-known competitor in the UK. And she posted on her Instagram today, she put, Julian_the Cocker passed away at Battle for Middle Ground yesterday. He was absolutely fine, no warning signs, and her parents were walking him outside and he collapsed. His heart stopped basically immediately. The event staff and vets, your dog's giving it some now. Mine's down here. That's why I was sad. The event staff and vets who were supportive and extremely kind. Thank you to Hornsey59, which is Rick, and the team for putting on an event with such a community. Thank you also to fellow competitors, particularly those in my division, which was the elite division, who showed so much kindness. This all happened after yesterday's first workout, and there were 4 workouts. So they did 2 days. There were 4 each day. This happened after yesterday's first workout. I made the decision to step back out on the floor, deadlift some wall balls. If you know me, you'll know that ate my jam, and I'm glad I did. So there's a picture up of her going unbroken on wall balls for baby J. Thanks at Motion Photography. That's Laura for the picture. But I didn't know that. I knew that they were on the floor, and Georgia actually ended up coming second in the competition in the elite category after a dog passing away after the first workout. I literally left when I found out my dog is literally laying on the floor next to me. I'm the biggest dog lover. Well, one of the biggest dog lovers there is. But yeah, I had to go and have a little cry and come back.
I can't believe she was able to do that.
No, I can't either. But it just showed like the idea of community, like especially one of the things that I love about CrossFit and CrossFit competition is everybody's just like love for each other and the community that surrounds it. And that's my sort of, it's a sad story, but it's also sort of a good news story in the idea that she's really thankful for the community around her that we're able to sort of keep her going throughout the day. But yeah, Georgia, if you ever get to watch this, I've already messaged her to say how sorry I am for her loss. And if you go and check her Instagram, because she's got loads of videos of her dog and lovely things over the last 24 hours. So it's Georgia.Radley. Yeah. And the event, that was an event particularly where there were loads of dogs. It was like a dog friendly event. And there were loads. So yeah, it's really cool. And there'll probably be a dog video.
Dog video. I was going to say, I think there's probably going to be a dog category next year. Have teens, masters, dogs. And Tom will be upset because there's no category for cats, but his cat wouldn't have a chance.
Category.
Right. Okay. Well,
on that note,
this is a.
Sorry to bring it down, but
I feel like I can't make any jokes now. But here we go.
No, you can. Of course you can.
No, I won't. Let's end on a somber tone. So, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you so much, Amy, for coming on and
thanks for having me,
representing Clydesdale so well. So yeah, you and Kat are both welcome back on anytime. We're more than happy to have you or Kat on whenever you or Kat are available.
Definitely you or Kat.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I don't think I'm forgetting anyone, but anyway, you and Kat definitely welcome back on.
Fantastic.
and Sam, as well, as always, a pleasure.
Never a chore.
Yeah. Okay. And thank you everyone for jumping in the comments. It's always fun. I know I actually listen back to the audio version as well, just to kind of check that it's not an absolute mess if you can't see. And I think it's okay. But if you are really getting annoyed with this, I guess come at 8 o'clock in the evening and watch the live show.
You can watch it. You can watch it on.
You can watch it after the fact as well. Yeah. So, but some people listen in their car. So prop your phone up, watch it. Then you can.
I'm pretty sure that's encouraging people to break the law.
Well, the reason I'm watching it on my phone is because I'm driving. And that one day, that's a screenshot of you saying that may end up in court.
That's right.
Yeah, just to let you know, one of the commenters in the comments is actually a police officer. So please don't do that. If you want to live, not be in prison.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for listening. You can follow Sam at you can follow Sam at La Roche Original. You can follow me at Jason CF Media, which is also the name of the YouTube channel we may have mentioned on this podcast at some point. Who knows? You can follow Amy at Team Rudy. Of course, you can also follow Tom at Jorking Fitness, who is away this week actually. So having fun time away, although we already know that he's been mostly looking after a baby all day. So I'm not sure how much fun he's having. But yeah, you can also check out whatever interesting stories and stats and things are being put out by Chalking Fitness. So thank you everyone for watching or listening. We'll see you again next week at the same time if you're here live. And I guess on that note, Sam can kick the music on and play us out.
Ciao, bye.
Bye.